Hey guys, this is Ozzy from W.A.S Europe, where I provide unique views, advice, and stories for you, the passionate traveler. Today, I am going to tell you how to rent a car in Mexico, particularly in Cancun. Let's get into it. The first thing you need to do is check your timing. Timing is going to be very important when you go to Cancun, Mexico, because depending on what season you go, you may or may not get your car. So take for instance, if you decide to go during Christmas or New Year's, the time I went to Cancun, Mexico, you're going to find very quickly that a lot of the airports that you leave to go to Cancun, Mexico is going to be very busy. Also, it tends to be understaffed. The airport services tend to be understaffed, so you're going to be waiting in long lines. Even if you show up on time or even hours before, chances are you're just not going to make your flight because of the situation when you go during the busy season when a lot of people are trying to travel, go out to the warmer weathers. I know this to be the case when a lot of Americans and Canadians tend to want to escape the cold months and go down to Cancun for some little sun and warm weather. When that's the case, you're more likely to miss your flight, and because of that, that will affect how you will get your car. Chances are you will miss your flight, and because you miss your flight, you won't get your car that you requested. Because of this, when that happens, you're gonna have to rent another car, which you'll end up paying more money, which that's what happened to me when I went to Mexico. I missed my flight and I had to do another rental, which I ended up paying more money. So timing matters depending on when you go, if you're going to get your car. If you plan on traveling to Cancun, Mexico during the holiday season, we're talking about December, January, try to go prior to Christmas, the Christmas week, or after New Year's. That tends to be the best time as more travelers are leaving Cancun to go home and they'll return the car, so you'll have more inventory and less likely to miss your flights because you're going out there. The second thing you need to focus on is inspect your car. Use your smartphone. We have technology. The smartphone is the best invention to date so far. With your smartphone, you can use your camera to record everything on the rental vehicle, which I suggest you do. Just make one or two swoops around the vehicle, take photos, take videos of the vehicle. If you have to, take videos of the person that you are renting the car and sign the contract so you can rent the car. That way, if there's any questions, you have evidence saying that this is what the person says, this is what the car looked like prior. So it's always a good idea to have your smartphone with your camera ready to go so you can record everything on the rental vehicle. Also, it will save you some money because the smartphone will help you use GPS, because if you're in the United States or in Canada, you can use your SIM card in your respective countries to be able to use your GPS to be able to travel. So that is also good. The key thing is make sure that everything is correct. Your spelling on the name on the contract, that you have everything down to make sure that this is what you agreed to take when you take your rental car out in Cancun, Mexico. So just be aware of your vehicle once you're signing up. The next thing we're going to talk about is adjust to the roads. Mexico, for the most part in Cancun, once you understand how the road system works in the city, it is easy to drive. But there's a few things you have to be aware when you go out to Cancun, Mexico. One of those is a lot of roundabouts. If you are not used to roundabouts, Cancun, Mexico will have tons of them. They're all over the place, and you just gotta figure out how the system works. Some are going to be a bit confusing, but once you understand how the system works with the roundabout, it's pretty simple to figure out. Also, a lot of two-way streets. What I like about driving in Cancun is that there are a lot of two-way streets. There's not many one-way roads, which it makes it simple to drive through the city, especially as there are a lot of tourists within the country, and that makes it easier to get through the city once you understand how the road system works when you go out there. The big thing, you need to be very careful when you rent a car, especially when you're driving through the back roads or the unmarked bumps. They tend to be huge bumps and you won't see them. They're not clearly marked, especially at night. You just have to be aware and be careful, because if you go too fast and you go over a bump, you're going to see that you're damaging your vehicle one way or the other. So just be aware of the major bumps. There are a lot of them in Cancun, Mexico, and you just need to be careful so you can protect your rental, so you don't have to pay more money than you have to. Also, know where you are going. You know, there's thank goodness for GPS on your smartphone you can use, but know that Cancun is not just a tourist area. There are actually people who live there, who are citizens there. So know where you're going when you are in Cancun, Mexico. There's the tourist area, as you will see, and there's where a lot of the locals live. So here's what I say: if you are in an area where no one speaks nothing but Spanish, then you know you're in the local area. And if you get a lot of looks, you know you are not in the tourist area. So just be careful, just be aware of your surroundings, and just make sure that you are safe about it, especially when you're renting a car, because the last thing you want is your car to be stolen. Not that I'm saying that it will happen or that it's common, it's really not, but just be aware of your surroundings when you rent a car, because it's going to be clear based on how you drive, how you behave behind the wheel, that you are not a local citizen of Cancun. The fourth thing we need to talk about when you're renting a car is parking. Now, I fell in this trap one time where I parked illegally, but because I saw other Mexicans do it, I decided to follow their lead and just park. So don't park illegally, because parking illegally will get you a ticket from a Mexican law enforcement officer. Sir, I did this when I went to the beach, Playa Langosta, and I just saw Mexicans just parked on the side of the road, and I thought that I could do that, so I parked on the side of the road, and I went to the beach with my friend. We sat on the beach, and I came back to notice that I got a ticket on my windshield, as well as the other Mexicans who parked on the side of the road when they weren't supposed to. Unfortunately, finding a good parking space in Cancun, especially near the beach, is very challenging. It's hard. You're going to be driving around multiple times, pulling your hair out, probably trying to figure out where you can park legally. They are there. It's just, it takes, especially when it's the busy season, it's very hard to find parking. My advice to you is, if you're going to go to Cancun, Mexico during the busy season, that is a very good idea to use Uber to go to the beach areas, the tourist areas, and save you money. Therefore, you don't have to take your rental and park illegally, or just waste tons of gas and time trying to find parking lot, because I guarantee you, when you go out there during the busy season, you're not going to find parking lots if you're even lucky, unless you have a hotel or resort near the beach or something similar to that. It's going to be hard to find parking with a rental. My advice to you is take Uber if you can to get to the beach area, and save you the hassle of trying to find parking when you are out near the beach areas. The last and final thing we're going to talk about is watch. Check your license plate. When you rent a car in Cancun, Mexico, or in Mexico, you're going to have two license plates, one in the front, one in the back, and you need to pay attention because this is something I didn't notice. But if you do get a ticket from a Mexican law enforcement officer with your rental vehicle, the first thing they're going to do is take off the front license plate. I did not realize that until I was returning my car, and I was like, there wasn't a license plate. And good thing I reported my smartphone to realize that there was. And because I got the ticket for it, parking illegally, as I mentioned before, the law enforcement took off my license plate for my rental at the front, and that was clear to the rental guys that I got a ticket from it. It wasn't a big deal. It's not that much money to pay, and they didn't make a big deal about it. So that was good about it. But here's the thing. If you get a ticket with your rental, check your front license plate, because chances are someone took it off. It was probably a law enforcement officer, and you might have to pay a little bit of money, but it depends on the company. Fortunately, I had coverage, and it wasn't a big deal, and I was able to return the car peacefully and move on with my life. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, please hit like, subscribe, share this video to anyone looking to go to Cancun. Cancun is a beautiful place. Yes, it's touristy, but I would go back because it's just awesome. It's just beautiful. It's the reason why so many Americans tend to live out there as expats. There's a reason why many Americans keep returning. It is a very beautiful city. Also, I travel anywhere around the world. I've been in Nigeria, Costa Rica, Finland. If you want to check those videos out to get an idea of what you can expect, these videos are here to help you guys plan your next adventure as passionate travelers. Check those videos out. I also got advice such as trying to get a Nigerian tourist visa. Check that out if you need help trying to go out to Nigeria. But these videos are here to help you guys, the passionate travelers, be able to plan your trip and be able to go anywhere around the world. So if you enjoy this, you know what to do. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace.